Well, internet, I hate to say it, but a few of you are really not going to approve of this video. Dan here, Daily Speed Shop. So we're back on the 56 Chevy Wagon, 4-door, original, one owner, original paint, low miles, basically like Barrett Jackson fresh. No, it was junk out of a field, $1,000, and it's been on and off for the last couple of years. But we're finishing it. Well, you know, we were like 80%, now we're at like 86%, and if we get to like the 100% on the road, that'd be pretty sweet. And even 100% on the road still is probably only like 65% for most of you critics on the internet. But we got it all together. Last episode we got the whole rear suspension dialed, stuff like that. Now we're kind of down to the nitty gritty. We got to do like headlights, turn signals, make sure all that stuff works, take it for a little test drive and whatnot. Clean up the interior, make sure the windows go up and down, just that little stuff. You know, that'll be the next video or two. Right now though, we got to do some gentle body work. Now, this car was obviously stored properly and we had a little accident. So the problem was, Dan here, I didn't hook up a charging system to this thing when we put the LS in. And as you guys know, LS motors really like to run like 12 volts. Anything less than that, they are just unhappy. So I was trying to get started and dead battery and screwing around, this and that, whatever it was. In the wintertime, well, frustration may have taken over. And I moved it with a Bobcat. Well, in turn, you know, you're pushing on the tire and you get a little rammy and you kind of bend the bumper a little bit there. And then this one, I don't know what happened, but it looks like it's a little sad-faced. So we gotta get that taken care of. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I actually think I have another 56 Chevy bumper in the shed. But that's like 4 bolts, and then I gotta go walk and get it and bring it back. So instead, I thought we would just take the Bobcat out and reverso what we did with the bucket. We could just pull it back out with a chain. So if we can do that, and we just gotta pull up on this little splash guard, and then we have to do a combo move where we like pull out on the fender here but push in there. So I think that's where we're going to start. It's already kind of getting late. I'm getting kind of tired. I know it's a funny place to end the video already, but let's mess with the Bobcat and then we'll see what happens. Work on the wiring tomorrow. Ugh. Worst case, the bumper will get ripped right off and it's a gasser. I mean, well, I even have a Bobcat. We're not going to do Bobcat things, right? Gentle. Gentle. We shouldn't hit the garage. I feel like the chain will be nice and safe. That's how it's supposed to be, and the other part's just a little mangled. We give her a little more though. Come on. Maybe a little I'm thinking that's pretty close, boys. Okay, I'm gonna say that's not bad. So now, I guess we could use the floor jack to fix the splash pan, eh? That's kind of boring. I'll get set up and do that. We'll fix this with the Bobcat. Honestly, the bumper is like not bad. So now I got the floor jack and I got a little block of wood. Got the seat of the Bobcat. See if we can just kind of bring this back into shape. Oh, are we fitting something there? No. There we go. There we go. Give it like one more. You gotta go a little past so it comes back. Oh, it's still bent back a fair bit. She'll need a little lot of cranking. We must be into the bumper somehow. Re-rig. Who are we kidding? This is what it needs. It's basically a DD frame machine. Tilt the bucket, maybe I can see it a little better. Oh yeah, we're good now. Getting sucked in the bumper. Oh, there we go. Basically perfect. Gets re-rig on this fender. So here's what I'm thinking. We really should be pulling straight out, but if I can maybe just turn the Bobcat, like pivot it that way, it'll be like almost the same thing. It's way less work. So let's see if we can make that happen. That worked out pretty good. We just gotta drop this chain a little. Should be good. Probably whack that back in once we got some tension on it. We nailed it. Now the only thing we gotta decide, I'll look at the other fender, but do we gotta knock this in or pull that out? Or a little of both? Chip foose. So the fender's gotta be like perfectly straight. So I'm thinking, if we hold a little tension on this chain and we clout this with a block of wood and a hammer, it'll basically be the same. Yeah. You know, maybe if I had a claw hammer. We got a crease right here, unfortunately. That's a bit of a situation. I wonder if we chain here, pull out and smack in at the same time. Of course, this is a pain. Well, it's definitely a little on the precarious side, but it's the best way I can kind of get the chain in there and see what I'm doing. So let's see what happens. Well, it's a new day, and bad news, bad news. Bad news one, transmission, she leaking. I did some running around today trying to find a new little hat seal. It was not the case, no one had it locally, so Scamazon it is, it'll be here in a few days. I don't know what the heck's going on there. The one thing is, maybe I'll draw a little diagram, I'll be right back. So here's what we're gonna try. So now this is a pretty sweet little diagram. This little hat box, that's gonna be the transmission, and that you got to picture as the little hat seal that we're trying to get to that's leaking. Now what happens is what am I doing here? This would be the TV cable, so it kind of fits in there like that. Now the problem is it's actually quite a bit longer than that, sorry. And there's a bolt that goes through like that, and that's what holds it all in, which is typically fine, but I think what's happening is this piece and the transmission are touching. So what's actually happening, I'll do another little diagram here, is we have something along these lines. So instead of it being pulled down flat, this is clamped 100% to the transmission, and then obviously we have a seal there, so it's not so good. So I've seen some guys on the internet, they put a little spacer in here, and that will in turn kind of on the sealing surface hold it flat. I don't know. I mean, at this point to jack it up and put a washer in there or something like that isn't the end of the world. Maybe it'll help. My plan was we would just go for a quick drive today. Oh, and second part of the plan, we don't have any brake lights or headlights. The turn signals work though, so that's weird. So again, this is why I don't like tying all the wiring up just until we kind of know what the heck's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the wiring. Hopefully it's just something simple. At one point this thing did have brake lights and turn signals and headlights and all that stuff was working. But everything got taken apart when we did the motor swap. So you got knock something, maybe we, something grounded that shouldn't have, it's just a simple blown fuse. I mean, it's endless amounts of things. So unfortunately it's under the dash. And, I am a petite man, but still it sucks being under there. So we're going to get that looked at. Hopefully we'll get that dialed together real quick. We'll jack it up. I'll brake clean everything, put a washer or two under a little hat seal. Maybe I can show it the camera. It might be terrible. And then we got to get some fuel in it and then go for a quick ride. Make sure we have all the gears. Imagine that, do all this work on the transmission and doesn't have 4 gears. Anyway, Yeah, that's the plan for the day, and it's supposed to get hot later, so I want to avoid that. Try fives. Okay, figured out the problem with the brake lights. Well, one of two problems. I also clearly wired that one to park, that one's to brake. Now, the situation we have run into goes as follows. The brake light switch, I thought it was just maybe mangled up or something like that. So the way this works is it's spring loaded, and when it's like this, the brakes are on. When it's pushed in, the brakes are off. And as you step on the pedal, you allow this little plunger to come out. The problem is the brakes don't go on until right at the very end here. There's a lot of swing. Now I don't know how this works, but it's essentially there's not enough adjustment in this thing to pull it back far enough. So what it would do is if you pound it on the brakes, like so you put the pedal halfway to the floor, it works. But under just like, you know, gentle braking, you kind of want it to work. So I wonder if I can just zip a 1/4 inch off that, or if that'll ruin everything. But we'll cut it and see what happens. Well, a little screwing around later, and I wonder this just isn't getting a good enough ground. Does that seem brighter? Oh, there we go. So I gotta figure out the grounding situation, which usually, I can't believe I didn't do it on this. I buy these lights because they have a little plug right there, and you can ground them. Now, I mean, realistically, it should be grounded to the case, and then the case is then screwed to the body. So that's how you get grounding, but I'll run a quick wire there. We have that. So the lights are working. Bit of a, that's a DD Speed Shop-ism. All the wires have just fallen out of the, turn that off. Move that. So basically what happened is, when I rewired this thing, I didn't have the connector to go on. This is a factory 5.6 switch. So basically power comes in, and then the way I have it run is these two are tail and park lights. So typically on pre-65, I think, you would have tail lights all the time and park lights only on park, but not on headlights. So I have them so they're always on. That one goes and feeds the high-low beam. And I believe this one goes and feeds in here. Oh yeah, we got light in there. See that? Mint. So now anyways, we have headlights. Bam. And they work mint to the point where, look at this. I love Tri-5 Chevys for this. High beam indicator works. The brake light, we had no issues there. I just cut this little piece off. Ended up being solid the whole way through, so that was perfect. So we have an adjustment. So now when we apply the brakes, you know, kind of like that much, it has brake now. So that's pretty good. Yeah, these fell out, so I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna get in there and crip these up, make them just a little bit tighter so they won't fall out. It could have just been, I mean, over the, you know, who knows, time was pulling on wires, it just kind of pulled them out. So I'll put them all together, zip tie them, do whatever, and put them back in the little hole. So that's that. Pretty simple. I'll ground that tail light. I gotta go get gas, because this thing only has, you know, very little, limited fuel in it, so I'm gonna get a jerry can full of fuel, get something to eat. We'll ground that light, and I mean, this thing, I think, is at least ready-ish to go for a test drive, you know, just 10 or 15 minutes. See what it does, make sure it has all the gears, make sure the brakes work, make sure it steers okay, all that sort of stuff, and then we can obviously bring it back in, get the interior cleaned up, work on the transmission leak and stuff like that. But I think it'll be a new video because, believe it or not, Danny's car, which we just finished, it also has an oil leak. So maybe we'll have dueling oil leaks in here at the same time, because that's always fun. Oil leaks are so boring, because you got to kind of put them together and let them sit. And I don't have much for patience when it comes to sitting and letting stuff set up. So next to see this, we'll be dumping some fuel in it, and we'll be hitting the open road. Now it's divided and lame and traffic, but otherwise it'll be a good time.
The people with the show little thighs, show little shin.
All right, let's test the lights out on this thing.
Only Dan's coming soon.
Do we have brake lights? Park lights.
Sure.
Okay, we'll do signals. Passenger. Driver side. Let's go up front. Make sure we got the same dealio. Passenger side. Driver side. Headlights. And hang on. High beam. Okay, so let's just, we'll check the transmission oil. I had the battery disconnected. This is on me. Come on, girl. Doesn't like to disconnect the old battery, these Hollies, but I don't trust it enough to leave it in the garage. So let's check the transmission oil. See if it's, painfully low or not. And we'll fix the leak at a future date. Stupid dipstick. There we go. Oh, it's fine. It's still full. Wonder maybe I overfilled it. That was telling me. Okay, we'll let this thing just warm up a little bit. We'll give it a quick once over and we'll see you on the road. It feels weird being in a four-door. This is actually the window is too small for my Sasquatch arms. So we had to run for a bit. We're at 180 degrees. I think it's got like a 190 stat or 197 or whatever. But it went into closed loop learning, so that's cool. Does its thing. We'll just change this over to other vitals. Oil pressure, charging. People love how I put this knot in a good spot, and I'm always looking down at it. The fan should be automatic. Everything should be okay. Fire extinguisher. A Leatherman, pair of pliers, and a 13 mil on a ratchet, so we can disconnect the battery in a hurry. What else do you need? The throttle pedal's a little, that's not bad. Sticky. Okay. I don't think we've driven this thing with the LS yet. I hate this steering wheel I put in it. I thought it'd be cool, but it's terrible. I got no speedometer. Have to fix that. Okay, second gear. Third gear. Alright. This thing rides nice. I remember, I only drove it a few times, but drove it up the mics there and stuff. Crooked steering wheel, DD speed chop. Nature annoying. So much put a headliner in this.
Baby steps.
Hey, it's running. That's all that really matters. This thing's like brand new. Like the transmission, I don't think ever had any miles on it, and either did the rear end. Because I put it all together. Originally, I think I said in another video, we were going to originally take this thing on power tour.
I think you've said it in a lot of videos.
I like to change my mind a lot. Second. Third. Okay, well we have
It is
that.
nice though.
And then overdrive, but that's just ground too bad, other than this. I think that was overdrive. Anyway, so I originally bought some stuff. It was going to be like a poser wagon, so we were going to have a big block in it. What I did, I had a Taurus big block with a 700R, which I knew wasn't the strongest transmission. And then I had this 10 bolt. I thought, oh, we'll just kind of do whatever, and it'll be what it's going to be. And we'll kind of putski it around and drive it, and it'll look neat, and, you know, get some attention on the channel and all those sort of things. And then changed my mind like 15 times over, put the big block in the Nova, and then I don't know if this thing, the transmission stayed in it or what I did there, but no, I put the transmissions in your car now in it, I think. It's hard to keep track of all these things. But yeah, we made the Nova run, and this thing just kind of was a small block with a turbo 350, drove around a little bit. And then for whatever reason, I decided we needed the LS swap this thing, put overdrive in it for power tour. And then we decided to take the Nomad. It was a block Chevy. So, we'll see. But if we get this thing all lined out, it's actually quite a nice ride. Either gotta take all these bows out or put some foam on them.
Double cones.
Double cone, guys.
Oh. Imagine being in that house, double cone dogs, and they're big guys. Just nothing safe.
Well, they'd probably help each other get out of the cones, too.
The one nice street in Manitoba.
Yeah, it's not bad here. Oh, this thing drives good. It's like really nice. We might have something here. No. But yeah, now a few little list of a few things there. We got to get speedometer, obviously. Need that for the inspection, and then a set of wipers and the motor and all that. Smells a little burny, eh? Part of the gauges were not on fire. And then that's kind of it. The double checker fuel. It's got a heater. All the windows work. Well, I gotta get tailpipes put on it, but I think that's just for me. It dumps right at the rear axle, but I want them to run all the way back. So I was gonna take it in and have a set of pipes put in, because wagons are a friggin' nightmare for rear exit exhaust just because of the fuel tank. I have that TV cable set a little on the tight side. It sure does downshift without any real throttle, but sweet little cruiser. It actually rides really nice. You're nodding, but they can't hear you nod.
It's very nice. Whoa. Pink Dodge.
This thing's got all stock suspension the whole way around it, and I gotta say, this is driving me crazy. Stock suspension is by far the way to go with the Tri-5.
Who needs a headliner?
Well, you can't do those adjustments on the fly.
Exactly. Where you almost burnt the Nomad down out of anger.
Who'd have thought the LS just works? We'll just pump it and make sure nothing is blatantly on fire. It smells a little bit, but this is a tricky corner. Oh, we'll park right by the donut marks. We should be friends with this guy. Okay, let's see what happens here. Does your handle work? Oh, man.
Yes.
Nothing appears to be on blazing fire. Not overheating or nothing. It smells like, I don't know what it smells like. It doesn't smell like anything's, like, it's just like I canned the motor and that's the smell. You smell it?
Yeah. But I always smell stuff in all these cars.
Yeah, but it's not old car smell. It's something's burning off smell. 198 degrees. Fan is on. It is kind of hot day already. Oh, a couple of shirtless rollerbladers. Hello. Ladies. Not that kind of show, sorry.
Save it for the only dance.
Nobody wants to see me with my shirt off and rollerblades on, I tell you.
I do. Whoa, look at that bouncy castle. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're doing the world's biggest whatevers over there right now. World's biggest bouncy castle.
Whoa.
Okay, so 197, 198, so it's obviously holding at that temperature. So that's a VIN. Should we start beating on it and just make it break? Wait till we get a little closer
I
on.
don't feel like that.
Like what?
Well, we're having a nice morning.
Yeah, it's a good day so far. It's like all Tri-5s, I can't see the headlights. Either maybe I'm getting taller? Like, I can't see the lights at all.
Well, that's red.
Well, I can appreciate that. That's why we're stopped, but it's hard to see when she goes green.
Well, I'll tell you when it goes green.
Oh, shorty.
Green. Green!
Look at this thing just cruising. These LS motors, they're soulless, but they sure do work, you know? How is this thing not have any rattles in it? It doesn't even have a back seat in it. We should have taken this on power tour. Oh wow, I thought we were going for a ride there on that bump, but it was good. Oh, this thing's mint. I thought we were going to sell this thing. Maybe it's a keeper, eh? Do you want to drive it? No? We gotta find someone to drive all this garbage.
I have a car to drive.
Why don't you drive it?
Because there's an oil leak that you haven't fixed yet.
One oil
And
leak.
you've literally said, I can't drive until you fix the oil leak.
Oil is cheaper to just top up than it is for me to spend my hard-earned time fixing the leak. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Nah. This thing works good.
It does ride really nice. I don't know that I'd say it's as comfy as the Nomad is, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It could be the seats. The bench isn't as nice as those buckets were, for sure.
Well, the bench definitely sits higher.
Oh yeah, it's way higher. This little wheel is ridiculous too. I do have panic about this transmission. I've never had a 700 R4, and I know if you have that TV cable adjusted improperly, look at it, it will like ruin the transmission instantly. So I do have that fear because I don't really want to nuke the transmission, but I'm pretty sure I got it all figured out. Yet again, even though I thought I had it adjusted properly. Real shocker, I know. That was like 2,700 RPM, but it really does something there. So I think, yeah, we gotta figure that out. The first shifter's not stuck in first. It won't go in a second manually, but you put it in drive or third, then it goes in a second. So I wonder if we're gonna do there. We gotta do some messing around. So behind this one to stop again. But 193 degrees. Has some oil pressure. It is charging to a certain amount. What else does a guy need, I guess, really? Right?
It's red.
Oh, is it?
It's green.
Thanks for that. Oh, I don't think it shifted there. I think that's his first. Oh no, it went in second. So adjusted a little bit funny there. So we'll have to look into that, I guess. Check the oil. Man, the steering wheel is terrible. I guess we can't whip donuts with all the children there.
Also, with all the holes.
We're in a Tri-5 wagon, lady. This is rough, eh? Winnipeg roads, Winnipeg roads. problem is both the transmission guy and the rear end guy told me 500 kilometer break-in period before you start beating on them. We've done like 6, so 6 kilometers. It's basically ready to go. This thing rides gorgeous. I can't wait to have this thing 100% done and then never use it. The internet, eh? This car's cool. You sure you don't want to drive it? This car's like more done than your car. You guys should borrow some parts off this thing for yours real quick. Borrow off of this for your car.
Oh.
You go the other way.
Yeah, can I have my LS motor back?
You want this one?
Yeah.
Fuel gauge looks like she's working mint too. Yeah, this thing scoots. I like it.
These seats are really comfy.
TCS.
TCS.
This is one of the first ones they did, actually.
Yeah.
Back when they didn't understand our craziness, I went on the, we'll just do some gray and black so you're happy with it. Originally I wanted plaid, I think, and she straight up told me no.
Yeah.
She's like, you won't like that. I'm like, oh, you don't know me. Still running cool, idling good. Sorry. Should do an oil change on this thing and put some thicker stuff in it, but I think it's good. Who'd have thought, eh? Holley fuel injection. What a concept. I'm wearing my Holley double pumper t-shirt too at the same time. So we're representing everybody. Whoa. Man, this thing is mean. All that time and we never even drove it. We gotta mess with the transmission a little bit. I still want to make sure it's like 100% right. So we gotta fix that leak. So we'll do that on an upcoming video, I guess. And then really just those few last little things. I guess that'll be the next couple videos. A few last little minute things. Get in for some tailpipes. We gotta clean this thing out. It's got junk everywhere in it. Wash it. Maybe re-shine juice it. Ooh, and then I don't know what the plan is otherwise. Drive it a few times and let it sit on the street and draw it away. I should just get a GPS speedo for this thing, it'd be way easier probably. Anyways, I think that's where we're gonna leave it. A very successful test drive. We must have been out for at least 20 or 25 minutes or so. Didn't overheat. Everything's still working good. Slowly but surely we'll put a few more miles on and then start beating the tar on it. I'd really like to do some garage burnouts, but I fear as though the guy that rebuilds the rear end watches this video and he'll know. When I try and bring it in there, he'll be like, I don't know what happened, sir. And he'll be like, I do know.
Warranty void.
I built that thing, told you exactly what to do, put it on the receipt, and then you did the opposite. Well, fair enough. So, that's it for now. We'll clean up the garage. I think we're gonna work on Danny's car a little bit, fix that oil leak for precious Danielle. We'll do dueling oil leaks. We'll fix the transmission on this one. And then, whatever the hell her car needs, which I don't know it yet, but it is dumping oil for some reason, which is hard to believe. It was a junkyard motor that was seized. Okay. So thanks very much for watching. As always, leave a comment below. Hopefully you like the old wagon. If you'd like to drive it, let me know. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one. Another day, another DD Speed Shop dollar. I'm ready for some soup for lunch. It's on you.